Hey, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we are doing the 5th recipe out of the key lime pie murder. It is the mock apple pie. These 2 pages. Now, it's called mock apple pie because there are no actual apples in this recipe. I've seen a few of these. They're more like Depression era rationing, we can't get everything kind of recipes. So instead of apples, they use saltine crackers. And I have had one before. I think I've made it myself personally, and it is amazing how little is like, if you don't know they're saltine crackers instead of apples, it can really trick your brain. It's really cool. So what we're gonna do today is we're preheating our oven to 450, and it says, yes, that's 450 degrees and not a misprint. We are going to use your favorite pie crust recipe to make enough pastry for an 8-inch double crust pie. It says if you're in a hurry, you can use 2 frozen pie shells, just thaw them and use one for the bottom and one for the top. I personally love these little boxed pie crusts because I am terrible at making pie crusts. It never comes out right for me. I can't do biscuits either. Maybe I just haven't mastered the skill of bread. It's very possible. But that is my preferred pie crust, so that is what we will be using. You also are going to want to assemble the following ingredients. It's kind of a cute way to say it. 20 salted soda crackers, 1/4 to 1/2 cup softened butter, 1½ cups of cold water, 1½ cups of white granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons lemon juice, freshly squeezed is best, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1½ teaspoons cream of tartar. So apparently you will be buttering the soda crackers and then throwing them in a pot and breaking them up with a spoon. And then to that, you're gonna add everything else. You're gonna bring it to a boil, and then you're gonna turn down the heat and simmer it for 2 minutes. And then you're gonna put the bottom crust into your pie, and you're gonna put all the filling, then you're gonna put the top, your slits, bake it for 15 to 20 minutes, cool and serve. The only real note on this is that I ended up using just a bit over 1/4 cup of butter to do this for soda crackers, and this pie has fooled everyone every single time I've served it. Lisa says she likes this pie best with vanilla ice cream. Herb prefers it with cinnamon ice cream. Lisa's dad likes to accompany it with a slice of sharp cheddar. Herb's mom likes hers with sweetened whipped cream. So let us get started. Here is all of the things that we will be using today to make this mock apple pie. So the first thing is I've got the soda crackers, and I've got a stick of butter that has been softened. Because it just says softened butter. It doesn't say what kind. So I'm going with unsalted since we're putting them on salted soda crackers. But it doesn't say how buttered to have them. It just says to butter them. And I'm just going to throw them in the pot we're going to use to crunch them up. Okay, so I finished buttering the crackers. I used 3 tablespoons to get them buttered. It says fairly large pieces with a wooden spoon. Okay, so wooden spoon. It says now we add the water, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, lemon juice, and the cream of tartar, which I guess is to thicken it, which I'm not really sure because the water and the sugar should make a syrup, so that shouldn't really need to be thickened. I'm not really sure what the cream of tartar's business is. So just want to stir this up and then bring it to a boil. All right, so we're gonna turn this down to a simmer, and we're gonna let it simmer for exactly 2 minutes. So I'm gonna set a timer. Definitely starting to smell like apple pie. I turned it down a little bit because it's definitely more boil than simmer at this point. Okay. Now we set this aside. Okay. Now we take our pie plate. This would be where you have to roll out your pie crust if you made it yourself. Put the soda cracker mixture into the lined plate and cover it with chopped crust. Alright, so it very much looks like an apple pie filling. It smells like an apple pie filling. It looks so much like apple pie. I will say it does look like I baked the apples a little too long, or I cut them too small, something like that, but either way out. All right, so the next. This is my pie. It will now go in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. It makes me think more of like a spiced applesauce kind of thing in a pie crust. And it being so liquidy definitely made the pie crust soggy. I mean, I don't know. If you put it in the fridge and let it sit for hours and hours, maybe it would firm up, for lack of a better term. Most people like apple pie hot. So I'm not too sure about this. The consistency of the filling itself seems spot on. And there are little tiny like apple-like chunks in it, but overall it seems more like an applesauce instead of an apple pie filling. But let's get a taste of it. If I can get it on the fork. It was very apple pie. It is indeed. This spices trick your brain. It's an incredible thing. Was it quick? Yes. But I feel like this is more of a novelty thing now, because most people can get apples readily available at the grocery store for this time of year. Heading into late September, you can go to an apple farm and pick them yourself. So apples are not a hard thing to come by right now. And you're pretty much using all the same things you would to make an apple pie. So like I said, it's cool, it's a novelty. Would I prefer this over an apple pie? No. No, I would not. I would rather just take the time to make an apple pie. Next week, we are doing Bernadette popovers, which are basically like it's supposed to be flaky and buttery, and it's very eggy tasting. They're interesting. I have made them a couple times. They also come with a bunch of fancy butters. I have made those as well before. It's too much. Too much butter, too much stuff. You can buy 12 times as much at the grocery store. To me, it's just not worth it to make the fancy butters. But I will make the popovers just so you can have a reference for that. yeah, so I hope you all have a good week. Bye, guys.